All right. I want to start out by welcoming everybody uh, for attending this evening's kickoff meeting. We're scheduled to play on Sunday. Everybody's playing the same course. Basically about the same time. Uh, Looks like the earliest tee times we're going to get at Pecan Hollow was starting at 4:16. That might tie us up late. Um, but like I was telling Matt before this meeting, the nice thing about this is we don't have to have a a full 18 holes to play. It's similar to our baseball league with a 2 hour time limit. If you hit 2 hours and you're only 4 innings in, the score is the score off of that 4 innings. In our scenario, if your match is at 13, 14, and it's just getting too dark to play, you you go back to your last completed hole, and your score is based off of that last hole. If you can't finish the hole that you're currently on, ideally you'd want to finish up your last hole uh, before you're done. But that being said, we don't have to finish 18 to be a complete match. A complete game is all four matches complete having a score. So wherever those four matches end hole wise, those totals will still match up to your team total. And then to go over the scoring um, structure again, this is a match play, head to head, individual against individual. What we're gonna have pairs. So if me and Sean are on the same team, we're gonna be paired up in the same golf cart. We're on the same team, and we're playing against uh, two other individuals from our opposing team, one on one. I mean, I'm playing one guy, he's playing the other guy, but we can communicate as a team, so we can help each other out with each other's shot. That hey, you might want to aim here, and um, you can relax your player, your teammate. Say, hey, calm down. You've stuck it in the water 3 times today. Relax. Just hit your shot. Um, that's what helps with this team aspect is you can help your teammate um, with with their round, but it's going to be two and two uh, for each foursome. Um, so again, it's head to head match play. So it's my low score against my opponent's low score. When with the handicap, we are awarding. So the current handicap that are in the system right now is all honor based. We're assuming we're taking your word for what your handicap is. That being said, you're going to be awarded 75% of that handicap on game day. So when you get up to the tee box, you're going to get 75% of your handicap. And how this works out is if, um, let's say, if my handicap is a 10, 75% of it is a 7. Round up to an 8 because it's a 7.5. So we round up to an 8. And if Sean's handicap is make it even, I say a 20, 75% of that would be 14, 15.
15.
So subtract 15 from 8, which is 7. So he's going to get 7 strokes. He's going to get 1 stroke for the 7 hardest holes on the course. Um, so I was gonna let me bring up the okay. So this is a scorecard that I'm actually going to be printing these out and bringing. So these are all going to be empty, but I wanted to put some information in so you can see visually see how it breaks down. So in this case, Sean's at a 20. His adjusted handicap would be a 15. And say mine's a 25. My adjusted a 19. So there's a 4 shot difference. So I get 4 shots on the 4 hardest holes, which in this case would be hole 6, 9, 16, and 18. If we don't get to 16 or 18, then I basically lose those shots. It's just the way the courses lay out. But I get a shot on each one of those 4 holes. So in this scenario, if Sean shoots a 4 and I shoot a 5, 56 might be close enough, but so I shoot a 5, he shoots a 4. It's basically a tied hole because I got one hole which makes my adjusted a 4. Now, if he scored a 3 and I scored a 5, then he would win because my adjusted score would be a 4, which is if he shot a if he shot a 4 and I shot a 4, then I win. Because I get my adjusted score is a 3. So I would win that hole. And I'd get 1 point. He gets 0 points. So then at the end of the round, we're going to total up 1 point, 1 point. We tied them. We tied this match. So my team gets a point. His team gets a point. Um, and that's kind of how it's going to go. And at the end of all 4 matches, we'll total up each match score for a final. Sean's team gets uh, 15, 15 points. My team scored 10 points. He wins by 5. Any questions on
Yeah,
that?
Brian, just to reiterate, so I understand the logic. Essentially, it's everybody goes in gross, they get their net impact of the handicap, and then at the end, it's net adjusted based on the hardest holes. Makes sense. So if I'm giving up 5 strokes, it's not going to be the first 5 holes. It's the first hardest 5 holes,
Correct.
and those are
Correct.
impacted on those particular scores.
Yep.
And so each of the holes, it adds up to a point, kind of like you win the hole. This doesn't sound like it's traditional match play where there's like each hole has a value. It's not like you win. If you win the first 9 holes, you don't win the match, right? It's just 9-0, 9-0 at that point.
Exactly. That's
Got it.
exactly that way we're not we're not having to sit there and think, okay, you won 5 and 4. Now in a sense, you paid for 18 holes. I mean, technically, you could play them out,
Yeah.
but this allows, like I was talking with Matt, is if let's say in a traditional match play, you win 5 and 4. Maybe you didn't win a single hole. You tied all the holes, but you lost 5 holes. So now you basically just lost your match, which hurts your team. But the way we're doing it, I can still in those last 4 holes, I can still score points for my team,
Right.
which could be the go ahead point for my team winning. So even though
Got it.
you won the match,
Yeah. So Brian,
I scored,
technically you could lose 10-8, but those 8 points would go towards your team's total.
yeah.
Got it.
So then
That's yeah.
if you're playing, if your buddy, your teammate, if you won 10-8 and your teammate lost, let's just say uh, 11-7, then your team lost by one point.
That makes sense.
But he he could lose, let's say 9-8, and then your team wins.
Mm-hmm.
That means you won your match. He lost his match, but his match was closer than your match, which gave you enough points to overcome that deficit.
So, yeah. So essentially, when you play these matches, each team has the opportunity to win 72 points. It's just who wins the most of those points.
Exactly.
Yeah. Got it. Makes sense to me.
And like I said, that allows all 18 holes to be a factor in
Right.
these matches.
Each hole matters versus, it
Exactly.
not matter. Trying to, in the normal match play, you're just trying to keep somebody at bay. But, you could lose 17-1 and still it benefit your team because we have that one that we take out of the game, out of the match.
That one point could win your game, even though you personally got blown out. Your 1 point won the game.
Understood.
Any other questions on that? So so as of right now, I'm going to be printing out scorecards. These are going to be blank. You'll just write in your name, your opponent's name, and what's going to happen is you're going to keep your score. You're going to keep your opponent's score at the end of the round. Make sure that you both have the same score on your scorecards, and then they'll be entered in, tallied up, and the score will be the score for that match. Going forward, I have a scorecard online in the app for us to do it online, so that you actually will keep your score on your phone, and it will update instantly. So you can be in the group behind, and you can see how your team's doing in the group ahead of you. So you can know, okay, we're down 3 points. I need to score 3 points out of this, or at least 4 points to win. And then the strategic part of all of this is boils down to the manager level, in that you want to set up your lineup that's going to best benefit your team. So if I go pull up these, so Sean, the year of 15, you may want to set, if you're you guys are playing here, so you're going to want to try and schedule your lineup to play, let's say, Sean. But you as a manager is not going to know what Sean has for his lineup. So you don't know if he's going to set himself up to go off third, or if he's going to have him go off first. So that's where the kind of the mental part of this league comes into play, is to try to figure out, all right, how did he set it up previously, going back to previous games, how did he do his lineup? Did he go strong to weak, or did he mix it up? And I want to try and set my lineup to match. So I'm matching either good to good, or I Sean. Let's say you want to play Sean with a 30 because you know he's terrible. Uh, so you're going to try and set your lineup to match that, to have that matchup. But again, you won't know until you show up as to who you're playing against. Similar, like I said, similar to baseball, when you don't know exactly what their lineup is until they meet at home plate and exchange lineup cards.
Got it. So we don't set it here. We actually just bring it with us, and that's what's established once we bring it.
So that all of this is going to be online.
Hmm.
So if you go into your dashboard, so as a player, you just have the player page. So you can see your upcoming deals. You can what we're going to need to do is have everybody make sure that they say whether they're going to be available or not. Like I've marked myself available to be
Hmm.
there. And what that does is that opens up uh, in the manager view, and it's broken right now. I don't know what happened. I've been making some updates to it, but you would set the lineup, click lineup, and it takes you to a page with your available players, where you can actually set it online, and then you would at that point you're gonna lock it in, basically submit it, and it'll say lineup complete.
Got it.
So right now, if I hit play, I can't do anything until both lineups are completed.
Got it.
But that's going to be the online deal for this first round. Um, I want to try and get, and with just four people being here tonight, kind of tough because I don't know who all is planning on being there Sunday. So I'm going to need to try and figure out, commitment wise, out of the 16 players listed, how many people are going to actually be there. I know three of my guys will be there because I've confirmed with them. Um, but outside of that, I don't know. But that being said, from a manager's view, um, you'll be able to see who's available for your team. And going forward, well, you're going to have let's say four core players, and you may have eight substitute players. Um, in a sense, you have 12 players on your team. Four players play
Yep.
uh, each round. So if you have uh, eight players, it may be a different different four players each game. But then for the player view, this is where you specify whether you're going to be there or not. So it tells your manager whether they can schedule you in the lineup for that day. And then, like I said, from the manager's view, this lineup, I wish it was working because it shows who has an available list, who's available and who's not available, or who hasn't replied yet, and then you can select uh, who you're going to uh, how you're going to line up 1 to 4, and then submit it. But in this scenario for this week, this Sunday, um, You can write it on a piece of paper and bring it down. Like I said, you'll get. I'll hand out these blank scorecards, and uh, the two managers will meet and go over who's playing who, and go from there.
Hey Brian, what happens in the event that, let's say Sean and I are playing each other? He brings three guys, I bring two. Um, just based on availability, what happens in those scenarios?
So I've wrestled with this a couple of different ways. So my original thought was if if he has three, if let's say do it this way, if he if he knows ahead of time that he's only going to have three, and you know ahead of time you're only going to have two come, that that discussion, if it's done the day before, then it's just 2v2. But if you set your lineup for three people and his three people show up and you get down there and only two of your guys show up, then that third match is a forfeit. But instead of getting, I don't want to completely kill your team because one guy decided not to show up.
Yeah.
So what that forfeit does is it starts him off with 9 points, basically half. So it may not be 9 points. It may, if we can only get 12 holes in, then his player gets a half a point for each hole that he would have played.
And that might change over time, but that's what we're starting with.
Yeah, makes sense.
But ultimately, we want everybody to have four guys in their team and then have eight guys in the queue because, stuff happens, life does happen, especially with us guys that are playing baseball. We're getting out of the house X amount of times per week and the wives are, I got you tied to this, so you better get a sub tomorrow.
Yeah, like I said, if with that availability marking, if you can only pull in two guys, then just if you let us know, hey, I can only get two guys, then either you communicate with the other manager and say I've got two guys, and then they can say, all right, well I'll bring two guys. Then you can uh, let their third guy have the day off. Don't worry about coming. We got two guys coming, and we'll play with those two.
I say, Brian, it probably wouldn't hurt too if your third guy wants to come golf. I mean, he's just not
And if
going
he
to.
wants to come,
Yeah.
he can come, but he's not. It's not necessary.
Understood.
But yeah, the only time a forfeit is gonna come into play is if you say you got three and your third just fails to show up for whatever reason. And then the other scenario that just popped into my head, if you've got a guy that can only, let's say he's got something going on, he can only play 9 holes, then it's the match can still go on, and that match will be 9 holes. His playing opponent can still finish off the round.
Yeah.
But only the 9 holes that they both played will count. That gives people flexibility. Let's say I can't go uh, for the full round. You're still going to pay the 18 for the 18 because I mean the courses are going to take what they take.
Right.
But if you've got to leave after 9, or let's say you get called. Let's say you're on call, you get called out after 6 holes, then score through 6. But ideally, you would want to go at least 9 at a minimum.
Brian, the other question I have is in the
Okay.
on the website. So I've been, trying to educate myself on the website. From a manager view, is there a quick way to see my team's contact information?
Um, I can. I didn't even think about that. I can build that in. That's kind of that would be what's in here, but I can add to this. Um,
Yeah, just like phone numbers, just so I can start a text chain and email chain and stuff like that.
yeah, not everybody's. May want to. We may need to reach out because not everybody put their phone numbers in.
Yeah,
But yeah, I can definitely put under this manager view because you're the only one that's gonna see this, and I can put either another card uh, for communications.
sounds good. In the meantime, Brian, if you don't mind just forwarding me over their emails. I mean, you send out a blast. Everybody just doesn't do the Sean.Clark at Gmail. So if you're able to identify those and send them to me,
Yeah,
that would be helpful.
I'll email. I'll go through each manager and email them the emails, and if they put phone numbers on there, I'll put their phone number on there for you.
Perfect. Thanks, Brian.
No problem. The other question was, um, I wanted to, like I said, the small sample set of people here, but I wanted to open it up to ask: Is the 3 o'clock, good for everybody? I know during the summer that's going to be the hottest part of the day. I think that's why they do it cheap. But uh, if if everybody wanted to play earlier, we can definitely work on trying to get earlier tee times.
I think this first week we should just go for the 3 o'clock.
Yep. Of course, this week is going to be 4:15, 4:16, because that's
Okay.
the earliest Pecan Hollow has.
Yeah, my theory is Texas is hot no matter what time of day. So whatever.
If you can keep moving,
Yeah.
you can cool that. You can cool yourself down. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to send out. I created a Venmo account for the league. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna Venmo out the QR code for that because Pecan Hollow. Well, I don't say if I call them up, they might let me have everyone pay when they get there. But going online, it's always a prepay for the round, which is kind of easy, which is kind of nice because you don't have to worry about you go in, check in, you don't have to necessarily pay then. But so yeah, I'll send that QR code to pay for the round, and I'll get the round set up. And what I'm going to do is I'll need to have everybody uh, send that money in before I can set up their that tee times.
Yeah, just let me know.
Yeah, I will email that out after this meeting as soon as we're done here. Any other questions?
Uh, what if weather cancels a game? Are you going to reschedule it or?
Yes. So if a course is unplayable, then we'll reschedule it. And we, like I said, if we're doing every other weekend, we may push it out a week. That may put you playing 2 weeks in a row, and then off 2 weeks. But um, going twice a month gives us some flexibility on adjusting. And we may have. I talked to an individual yesterday, and he wants to join. He may bring a fifth team, which what that may do is that may give that'll give a team a week off throughout. You'll get one bye game throughout through that time frame, unless we can get a sixth team. Then we can schedule everybody to play those games.
Oh,
Sean, you got anything to add?
Not really. I think you covered everything. Just add the link to the video and the email that you send out to everybody. So if they get time, they can give it a look-see and at least just hit play so we get a view. We're trying to build up our social campaign. But again, we're excited about this. We hope you are too. We're small right now. This is ground level. This is brand new. We're ironing out the kinks. Brian's done a hell of a job on this website. It's just going to get better. We're going to build some apps to use. We think this thing's going to blow up. We think we're going to find some guys like us that like to play baseball, but like to play golf and being part of that organized team camaraderie thing. So we definitely thank you for showing up for the meeting tonight. Wish everybody would have, but this is going to catch on and you guys are going to get first level access. So thank you. And then as we mentioned before, ideas, questions, input, by all means, anytime, shoot us a text, shoot us an email. We'll figure this out together. That's one reason we decided no member fees right away, because we basically, y'all are getting to be part of the guinea pig issue, so to speak. And
You guys will help build this
yeah, for sure.
for future.
Our ultimate vision for this is to blow it up a little bit, kind of like baseball is here in Dallas. Matthew, I don't know that Kevin, you probably don't either. Sean, you might know. I'm the president of the North Texas Amateur Baseball League. So it's the same thing. Just getting guys together, herding cats to have some fun and do it on the links instead of the baseball diamond. And ultimately, we want this to grow into more teams to make it bigger, more fun. The idea is to have fun. And, yeah, it's going to be a little competitive, but it's still fun. And then ultimately, Brian and I's vision is to make this huge, start growing outside of Dallas, start growing outside of Texas. And, maybe in the future, might be a few years from now, having a tournament somewhere. It could be Florida. It could be Arizona. It could be up in Wisconsin. So that's the goal. So we appreciate you guys, man. This is going to be a good time.
Yeah, the idea is we'll have like a winter tournament, like a national tournament, which would be like Alabama, Florida, southern states, and then a summer tournament up north. And like with baseball, you've got the World Series in Phoenix. We'll have we'll have age groups and do like a week long round robin. You'll get your share of golf in for the week, and with the national championship at the end of it. I've got some interest in from a colleague up in Ohio. I know my brother in Arizona. He would do this in a heartbeat. So yeah, that the reason it's named National Team Match Play is because the idea is to go national. Hopefully get every major city running a league. That might be a year or two down the road.
So Brian, Sean, it just sounds like you created this so we'd have an excuse to have some golf trips out of state in the future, which I'm all for. So
Yeah, for sure, man.
Exactly.
Anything else, guys?
No, sir, not from me.
Cool. All right, Brian, get that email out so we can make sure that we're going to have some golfers on Sunday. And I've already created an email here I'm about to send out to my team. Maybe recommend that team managers do that. And if you can get each manager the emails or phone numbers, that would be really helpful.
Yeah, I'll break them out and send you your team's information.
awesome. Thanks for the kickoff call, guys. Looking forward to this on Sunday.
I'm excited. Excited and nervous.
All right, Brian, contact me if you need anything, man. I got to go cook for some girls right now, but if you need anything, I'll be here. I'll be here all day tomorrow too. So,
all righty, we'll touch base.
Gentlemen, have a good
All right.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good one.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.